I really like when people make their own interpretations. So what I meant when I was making the animation isn't necessarily right. And I think that once the work leaves the studio, that's the point with it, that someone can recognize itself in it or have another mindset of what it might be. But that is what it was for me when I made the animation, what it was for Hans when he made the music for it. And Snakes Knows It's Yoga, that film is actually about death, or the idea that, well, when death does not exist, and that is actually what the title is referring to.
Well, you had these 5 sort of keywords or points.
Yeah,
about the
I
show,
really
right?
like those.
It was about painting,
exotism, mysticism, dirt, and enlightenment.
It's about different tactics, how to reach different levels.
A state of mind.
Of state of mind, yeah. Which
forced upon you, or by society, or in a personal way.
Like reaching a higher state through pain and self-inflicted harm. Or you have the more Eastern way of thinking, where it's more meditating and it's limiting everything for yourself. And then you have a completely opposite direction where you like indulge in everything, in like too much luxury, and you try to reach some kind of better life, or whatever you would call it, through too much things instead.
Björk has a title to one of her songs that's called Pagan Poetry, and for me it's that. And it's also about transcendence, to transform into the other. It gets to the more pagan religion, or it becomes symbols of things, like symbols from and archetypes, where stories and fairy tale meets religion, or what used to be a story becomes a reality in some way, and the opposite.
For instance, the film with the girl with the frog, I never thought about it as the Frog Prince or anything like that in a fairy tale way. I saw it much more serious, and that's how I made the music. So this is a song I made for Nathalie. It's called Whales. The film is called Whales, and it sounds. Originally it's very simple. The original is only like this, very quiet tones. And then I just added more things. And I think you can see that, I'm guessing at least in the films, or when you hear the film music, that I don't come from classical or typical music schooling. I'm self-taught more or less, just as Nathalie is self-taught more or less with animation.
There's a way to be more free in what you're making if you don't have too many rules. If you do have the rules, you have to be able to break them, which sometimes can be hard. Yeah, I went to art school for a university and everything for many years, but the animation I taught myself, and the ideas and the technique is always racing, which is really interesting for me. That it's also important that the idea always comes first. It's okay if the technique drags behind, because if the technique is the most important thing, the idea will be a tiny bit dead. So I'm a bit sloppy, or I'm very sloppy. But I think that art is so much about choices, to keep something in or to choose to cut it out. And I learn something new when I need it, just like Hans learns something new when he needs to. Yeah. And when we started working together, and I asked him to make piano work sounding like Bach, but more, and he's like, well, I can't do that. Well, of course you can. And he's like, no, because I don't play classical piano. Well, but you just pretend that you do. And because
Yeah.
that's always been my way to do something. And in the beginning he was so reluctant to do it because maybe the fear of that his piano playing brother would listen to it and laugh or something. But then discovering that you can do it in another way, you don't have to walk a road that someone already stepped. How do you say that? That's a Swedish expression. To don't have to walk a road where someone always like made it into a path.
Yeah.
you can make your own path, and that's why our way of working works so good.